up, YouTube? It's for the franchise guy. Coach again with our 39 overall offense. Yes, you heard it right. 39 overall. Our offense is pitiful to say the least. I mean, we got Rawson Thurber, we got Carlson, we got Max McCaffrey, not Christian McCaffrey. We got Max McCaffrey. We have a tight end playing left guard. We have a tight end playing left tackle. We have Darrell Green. Take on the Dolphins in preseason, week 3 of the preseason. But this episode, it's just kind of showing how bad our offense is. But the main point of this episode, kind of talk about what we're gonna do with the franchise because Madden put out that new patch that gave all the O-linemen X factors and superstar X factors and that stuff. Well, apparently they didn't want to break franchise modes, so they just didn't put it in the game that were already made. So currently our series is not all published yet. We're not in season 2, which I think's the good part that we haven't gotten that far yet. But hear me out. I do want to restart it and then just adjust our 4-star losses until week whatever we're on currently, whatever week I am currently up to for these uploads. I know personally that it's not going to be the smartest thing. It's gonna mess some things up. We might not get blown out in certain games as bad, or players might get hurt that didn't get hurt, and that's gonna be the shame. But I think it's what we're gonna have to do. I mean, because I don't want to play this if it's not gonna be complete. You know, Eagles have, I think, rated by Pro Football Focus, the best O-line in the game, and they have 3 superstar X factors: Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, and Jason Kelsey. Does Jason Pierce deserve one? Probably. I mean, he's a guaranteed Hall of Famer, first round Hall of Famer. And guess what? He's doesn't have one. So people are like, oh, well, that's it. And they're gonna think, oh, well, you're just a homer then. You're just only gonna support your team regardless, and this, that, and the other, and all of this pizzazz that comes around with being an Eagles fan. Even though it's not true per se. I'm not just a homer. I'm not trying to sit there and be one. I'm just telling you how it is when it comes to the game. That a company who rates players, that's what they do. That is what their job is. Gives the Eagles the best O-line in football, and Madden's gonna come on to disregard that. I mean, sure, do they have other teams with better specific players? Yeah. Zach Martin, hands down the best right guard in football. Hands down the best right guard in football. But Brandon Brooks is a very close second. You want to know something? Brandon Brooks in the South Eagles has allowed 1 sack. You know when that sack was? The first game with the Eagles. He hasn't allowed a sack since then. Like, what? Zach Martin, I'm pretty sure, has allowed a sack since then. Jason Kelsey, in more time, has less penalties and less penalty yards against him. I think he also has less sacks allowed than Travis Frederick. But I want to say, oh, Frederick Stahl, he's the best center in the league, hands down. And, I was like, oh, well, Lane Johnson can't lay off the juice. All right, put it this way. Lane Johnson last season went up against Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, DeMarcus Lawrence, not once, but twice. He went up against Ndamukong Suh, lined up against, I don't believe he lined up against the Texans. I don't think that was him. I think that was Peters who lined up against Javian Clowney. But I'm pretty sure he's lined up against J.J. Watt before, if not Clowney too. And he is not allowed to sack to any of those guys. Not a single sack has he allowed to any of these players. But guess what? No one's paying mind to it. Everyone thinks, oh, well, he can't lay off the steroids. That's all he needs is steroids to be so good. Even though he's by far the best right tackle in the league. Are there other good right tackles? Yeah, sure. There's other good tackles too. Like Andrew Whitworth is a great tackle. He is a lockdown tackle, and without that, I don't think Todd Gurley has the seasons he does. But I think that Madden doesn't give teams due credit when it comes to players. They have the easiest thing to base it off of, but I forget what the player was. We see a player convince the Madden official who does the ratings to give him an 88 overall player because that's what he felt like he deserved. At that point, that's just biased. At that point, that's not even factual anymore. You want to give him an 88 overall player just because he says so? I mean, what's the point? Or, players just don't get added to Madden. There's a rookie, Denzel Rice, I think his name is, something Rice, I believe, who until recently just wasn't in Madden. He tweeted at Madden, it's like, hey man, like, you gonna put me in the game? Like, I do play for the NFL. And like, oh well, yeah, you're in our recent update. So what? The third update you have, you finally put a player in who's been playing in the NFL since you got drafted. I mean, what's taking you so long, guys? That players like that should be in the game as soon as the game starts. Like, sure, you might not have pictures for everyone. That's fine. It's whatever. We get past it. We get over it. But at least have players who are in the game in the game. Like, why are players who are undrafted never in the game? They deserve to be in the game. Like last year, Nick Mullins was not in the game at all. Nick Mullins blew up out of nowhere, and everyone loved Nick Mullins for a couple weeks. But guess what? No one could play with Nick Mullins because Madden never put Nick Mullins in the game. At least not at a reasonable point when everyone wanted to, play with Nick Mullins in Madden. Remember that? It's like right after that huge game, I think it was against, I want to say, like the Seahawks or something. He just had a big game, had like 4 touchdowns or something, 3 touchdowns. Just came out of nowhere. It's like his NFL debut. And he just rocked the league with a bunch of touchdowns. But I don't know. This Jaguars team is a team I'm gonna have a lot of fun with, and the stuff I've already pre-recorded and have to upload. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I don't want to restart it. Plain and simple. I don't want to restart something that I've spent so much time on already. How many hours I've put into the game, I don't want to just, throw it to waste, because that's not fair to me. I mean, nothing's really fair to me, that's not how life works, is fairness. But that's not the point I'm trying to get at, that's the point is I'm trying to sit here and play the game and have the game I want to play that's, up to date, accurate, and fun. And Madden just doesn't like doing that. I'm just kind of glad though I haven't gone past the first season. To get past the first season, I've gone through drafting and free agency, and that would have been a huge pain to go through. That would have been an absolute monster to have to go through. And I know I talk about him a lot on this channel, but C4, he has a Raiders franchise, and if you haven't watched it and you guys do watch my videos, definitely check out his content. I mean, he's a big Madden player. He's got 100,000 subs. Real good guy from Canada. Huge Eagles fan, so also partially why I like him. But he has an Oakland Raiders franchise that just got yeeted out the window because of it. Like, he was in Season 2, had made custom draft classes for it, and then had to remake his draft classes to update it with the new abilities. Because the old draft classes wouldn't have the new abilities in it. And then Madden was saying that, oh, well, if you have a pre-existing franchise and then your drafted players can have the new abilities because they'll be unlocked for them. But then he created players in the game, and they didn't have the ability to unlock those traits. So we had to start a brand new franchise and to get the traits, just to make the game more balanced, because the defensive X factors are broken. I mean, do I know that? Not really. I haven't really noticed it yet. I mean, my team's also really bad, so I couldn't even attest to it. But besides that, I mean, some stuff in this game's like really broken. Like the double me, broken. I mean, if you see my, my tight end career mode, I mean, double me is As long as there's only two people, as long as there's only one person on me, I can aggressive catch over anyone. I'm gonna come down with it all the time. If my guy's fast enough, he's gonna outrun people, so he's gonna get the 20-yard catches. He's gonna do it pretty quickly too. He's gonna have his X factor pretty early. As long as I get a catch every 3 targets, I'm gonna have that X factor for a long time. You know. But look at that, another blocked punt though for this Dolphins team. I mean, guys, calm down. We're already down by 70, and the ineptitude continues. Eesh. I don't know what the worst NFL blowout of all time is because it can't be worse than 77-0. I mean, but it's probably some game in like the 1940s that was like 112-0 or something. And it's like a pee-wee football game. But what was the worst NFL blowout game? Like, what was the most highest scoring lopsided game in NFL history? Because it had to be a team that scored like 40, 50 points on a team scored 0, right? And I mean, hey, we scored 0 points and they scored 77. They have 11 touchdowns. 11 touchdowns. Can you think of how many touchdowns that is? That's so many touchdowns they have in one single game. And yeah, the Dolphins have 11 touchdowns as they end up winning 77-0. We had less than 100 total yards in the game. We averaged 1.7 yards a play. We had a takeaway somehow, so I guess they fumbled the ball. Maybe they turned it. Maybe they threw an interception. Who knows? But Dolphins are riding the high wood right now. Ross and Thurber not too good. Brandon Witt not much better either. Rushing yards, Crozen 12 for 14, pretty doo-doo. Hood, 6 for 27, doo-doo. And Thurber 1 for 6. Pretty trash. Crossan led the team with 29 receiving yards on 4 catches. I mean, this is just a bad team. Bad team, super bad. But if you guys like this episode, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tag us on YouTube. Peace out, rock on, stay classy.